First and foremost, let us orient ourselves with a view of your toad. Alright, so this view right here shows the back, so that is the dorsal view. Okay, and then this view is the toad with the belly facing you, it's belly up. Alright, and so this would be your ventral view. Alright, so just so when I mention dorsal or ventral, you pretty much know what the toad is looking like. Alright, and now another thing, when we study the muscular system, you will notice that some muscles are named based on their location, alright, or based on their action, or based on the bones with which they are closely associated, which is why we studied the skeletal system first. Alright, so I'll give examples later. So now let us proceed. Okay, and then we will add this one, this entire part right here. As you can see, the muscles run obliquely, and they are found at the outermost, externally, which is why the name is the external obliques. Okay, quite simple. Alright, now let us move on. Now let us look at the ventral view of your toad. So now here let us look at the muscles. So first, the triangular muscle, it's partly obscured. It is on top of the shoulder joint as described in your manuals. That is the deltoid. Okay, next would be the muscle that runs from the pectoral girdle all the way to the humerus. So it's this part right there, right there, right there. That is the coracoradialis. Okay, now next would be this part. So the next one would be these muscles right here. That would be your anterior pectoralis. This one would be your middle pectoralis, and these ones would be your posterior pectoralis. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. 1 is the anterior, 2 is the middle, and 3 is the posterior pectoralis. 1, 2, and 3, they form your pectoralis muscle, the pecs, the chest muscles. Okay, and if you take a closer look, you will see in your toads this part right here. That is actually the siphisternum, to which your posterior pectoralis is attached. Okay, so you take a good look at that, you will see the cartilaginous flap. That is the siphisternum. Okay, now after your pectoralis, you will see these muscles: 1, 2, 3, 4, beautiful 8-pack abs. This would be your rectus abdominis. Alright, rectus abdominis muscles. And then right down the middle, you will see a line. That is, it's not a muscle, but it's just a line. They call it the linea alba, because if you look at the toad freshly dissected, it is actually a white line. Hence it is linea, line, alba means white. Okay, now the ones that run transverse, as you can see these lines here, now those are called inscriptiones tendinae. Okay, yeah. And then of course other muscles that you can see, you can also see the external obliques from this view. There. Okay, so just to recap, the more superior part, the deltoid right here, and then the coracoradialis, and then the anterior pectoralis, the middle pectoralis, and then the posterior pectoralis, and then the rectus abdominis, and then the linea alba, the white line that divides these into the left and the right, left and right. Okay, and then of course you also have inscriptiones tendinae. Oh wait, oh, there's a different view. Sorry, I forgot. So right here, so this part would be your deltoid, right here. Okay, here, and then this one would be your coracoradialis, and then the rest would be the anterior pectoralis, right there. And then that would be the middle pectoralis, and then that part would be the posterior pectoralis, and then rectus abdominis, the ones that I am dotting, linea alba, which is now black, inscriptiones tendinae, and then of course external obliques. Alright, okay, now this is the final note. Okay, so I hope it has been helpful, and good luck with your review. Now let us move on to the muscles of your hind limbs, which we will divide into two main parts. First would be your thigh, and then the next one would be the shank. Okay, so let us first look at the muscles of the thigh. So this one right here, the first one, that is your vastus internus. So this view is the ventral view. Okay, ventral view. Now next muscle right here, somewhat. Alright, now that is the adductor longus. Okay, now this one, this muscle here, if you see that in the actual specimen, it's very thin. As you can see, it's like a sheet of a muscle, you know, that is actually covering the other muscles. That is your sartorius muscle. Okay, now the sartorius muscle, so it partially covers your adductor longus, and it also covers this big muscle right here, which extends all the way to the underneath. That is your adductor magnus. Okay, now the adductor, so when you hear the word adductor, the action means it brings the extremity or the limb closer to the median or the midline of your body. So that's what it means when you adduct. Okay, you bring it closer to the middle of your body. Okay, so the adductor longus and then the adductor magnus. Magnus means large. So as you can see, it's quite a big muscle. If you remove the sartorius, it will you will see how big it is. Okay, and then next would be this huge chunk right here. That is your gracilis major. Major again because it is big. And then the one right here hanging right there, as you can see, it looks a bit pathetic because a part of it was removed when you skin the toad. So if you're not careful, it can be removed. Okay, that's why I told you to be careful. That is the gracilis minor. Okay, there. So major because it's big, minor because it's small. Okay, so those are the muscles of your thigh. Alright, so I want you to remember this one, which is your vastus internus. Okay, so because now I will tell you, we will now look at the dorsal view of the thigh. Okay, now the vastus internus. Alright, so that's one. Now again, now this next one is the rectus femoris anticus. Okay, and then this third one is the vastus externus. Okay, so these three, they combine to form the triceps femoris. So triceps, tri means three, sep means head, femoris because it's close to the femur. Okay, so triceps, the muscle that has three heads, and the three heads would be your vastus internus, which you saw ventrally, the rectus femoris anticus, which you will see anteriorly, hence anticus, and then the vastus externus. Okay, so those are the three heads of your triceps femoris. Alright, there. Now the next muscle below your vastus externus, you will see this muscle, that is the iliofibularis. Okay, there. And then this big one right here is your semimembranosus. Okay, and then the one right here, so it is the same view. You can see it dorsally, you can see it ventrally. That is also the gracilis minor. Okay, there. So the gracilis minor will cover partly the gracilis major and the semimembranosus. There. Now apart from that, I would like you to know these two other muscles. So that would be the piriformis muscles. Okay, they are closest to the cloaca. So those are the piriformis muscles. Okay, and now these two round ones here, I've mentioned it in the previous video if you watched. That would be your gluteus muscles. So the muscles of the ass. or the butt. Okay, there. Now let us move on to the muscles of your thigh. Okay, so let us look at a better view. So this is the ventral view, and this one is the dorsal view. So let us first look at the ventral view of your shank. Sorry, the shank. Okay, now the first one, so the most anterior. Okay, so that muscle right there is the tibialis anticus longus. Okay, now next to it is a muscle that traverses the tibiofibula bone. That is the extensor cruris. Alright, and then finally the one here, the one that's a bit torn, that is the tibialis posticus. So again, it suggests the location of the muscle. Tibialis, close to the tibiofibula. Anticus means it is found anterior or in front of the tibiofibula. Okay, and then longus because it's long. And then tibialis posticus because it is posterior to your tibiofibula bone. Okay, there. And then this big muscle here, you might be confused, that is the gastrocnemius. It can be seen ventrally, and it can also be seen dorsally. This big muscle right there is the gastrocnemius. So from the name itself, gastro means stomach, because if you look at it, it looks a bit like a stomach. Okay, and then this muscle right here, that is the peroneus muscle, which can be seen dorsally. And that's it. Those are the muscles of the shank. Okay, so I hope that this has been a good review, and I'll wish you luck in your exams. Thank you very much for watching.